Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another video here on this channel, Sports Talk Network channel. This one being a little different than my other stuff. Like I said, from time to time, I do talk about other things besides sports and besides pro wrestling. As you see, I have my series for Scream Queens, Scream, MTV Scream. When they have those shows, Scream Queens just ended for season 2. Will there be a season 3? We'll see. And for MTV Scream, there will be a season 3. But when will that be? When will that start? So I have to wait for that. So I do other things here on the channel besides the sports and the wrestling. And if you want me to talk about a subject, or if you want to join my Royal Rumble pool, I know the guys over at Lazy Bookie Podcast who had an episode last night on the channel. Check them out on YouTube. Just search Lazy Booking Podcast, and you'll find their Twitter at Lazy Booking PC, and follow each individual team member there, because each of their Twitter handles are in the About section in that in the podcast Twitter handle at Lazy Booking PC. In the About section has each individual member of the team, their Twitter handles to go follow if you wish to do so as well. But there's a lot of things going on here for my channel, a lot of things going on in general. Hopefully, in time, if grow subscriber count or whatever, be able to have a set up camera, maybe even turn my podcast into audio form, which still will be upload to my channel, just no longer in Google Hangouts. But we'll see if that's ever able to happen. I like the Google Hangouts way. It's easier, faster, and it's much smoother for me. But I know most podcasts become popular through audio version, and not a lot of wrestling podcasts, or at least I know there are some, but not a lot of actual podcasting channels here on YouTube that are cornering the wrestling market, pro wrestling market, I should say. There's a lot of great ones. You got Joe Cronin Show and JD from NY206 leading the charge there in podcasting online, along with Bite That Cast, Lazy Booking Podcast, and here me and my team, Steve's Wrestling Ramble. But I don't think there is as much as there is like plethora of YouTube channels that do live reactions or do this or do that, which is awesome too. I mean, I wish I had that capability. That would be another section to my channel, but then I would, like I said, need money, and for me to need money, I need to have subscribers to get views. And you know how that I was gonna say Pandora's box, but how those puzzle pieces fit. You need this to get this, then to get this, but then you also need that before you ever get that. All that weird thing is how that works. In life, and here also in a YouTube channel. So that's why I always say, hope to, welcome to subscribe and comment and like the video and share it and all that other stuff, because especially for a channel like mine that, on the radar of YouTube is just a blip or barely nothing. I want it to become something because I want this to be something. My channel, my podcast, all of it. So, excuse me. But today's video, as you can see by the title, is glorious video. It's my reaction to The Last of Us Part 2 announcement back early December. The PlayStation Experience. I didn't do a video about it earlier because a lot of things going on in WWE, the NFL, and everything like that. So I didn't talk about it then. Obviously, I don't have the capabilities to do a live reaction. I mean, technically, I could do it. I tried it once before with live reaction without having it on screen or having any audio, but it didn't really go over very well, as, to be quite honest, it shouldn't have, because it's not what most people like to see for that sort of stuff. So they like to see the video with the person's reaction, and I'm that way too, as a viewer, as a subscriber to other people's channels. But no, I just wanted to give my thoughts though on it, and I'm very happy that it's happening. It's been a long time. I know they remastered it, Part 1 for the PlayStation 3 or 4, and I saw some gameplays and everything. But just seeing that announcement trailer, that PlayStation Experience, the last one they had, is the end off, send everybody home happy, big surprise at the end in a way, and it's early developments, as he said there. And check it out on PlayStation's channel, YouTube channel themselves. But if you haven't seen the trailer, I'm sure if you're a fan of Last of Us, you have already seen it. If not seen it 100 times, dissected it 100 times, and all that stuff, fun stuff as well. I am a big gamer. I play a lot of games, mostly in my life. Childhood on was wrestling and football. So WWE, SmackDown video games all the way up to now WWE 2K video games, and then Madden NFL from the beginning, as in the beginning when I was, um, as I remember as the beginning, not the actual beginning, but the my lifespan beginning, if that makes sense. Anyways, um, of Madden NFL games. But there's a lot of other games like Until Dawn, Uncharted 4, Last of Us, that I would like to play. But again, like I said, I need money and need, get a PlayStation 4 as well. That's why, again, hopefully, build that fan base, maybe even have people be able to do not mail vlogs, but do a mail video of me getting some mail and stuff of some things. Not expecting anybody to get me a PS4, but just anything, stuff like that. So get a PO box, PO box address, and go from there. But that hopefully is here in the near future, distant future. However, but I'm certainly looking forward to seeing how that goes. I don't know if, but anyways, from watching that trailer and everything, and hearing from the creator of the games, it seems like the part 2 is going to be, well, not just interesting, it's going to be great, all that other stuff, but it's going to be a little bit different from how part 1 went, and with Ellie being the main playable character and her story, and just seeing the look in her eye in the end there when she delivers that line. It's very, very interesting. And I know there's been a lot of people wondering what this all means. Is Joel going to be killed off early or late or at all, or what's what's in the cards for the Joel character? In that scene, there's many ways to interpret it. First, you can interpret it on its basic form, that's Joel coming in there after they both ransacked the Fireflies' home base, rebel base, or whatever you want to call it. That the Fireflies took over at some point in time, and that's Joel. He's coming there and asking Ellie if she's really going to do what she's going to plan to do. So, that's number one on its most basic form of how you can interpret that scene there with her singing and stuff like that. That one scene, obviously, of the trailer. Other way you can interpret it is that Joel is a figment of her imagination, and he was never able to teach her how to play piano, and she learned on her own. And after she does what she does, Joel comes to her mind, and appears there in her dream, or just there, like I said, figment of her imagination and stuff like that. I know I watched a video here on YouTube, and I'm going to give credit where credit is due, not try to pass it off with my own thinking, but give credit where credit is due, where I heard it first. It's Rebel Gaming YouTube channel. There's a third word to it, Rebel something gaming. But check out her channel. Smart person, awesome person. And she had a video a few days or weeks after the announcement in early December. Like I said, it happened December 3rd, PlayStation Experience. And she was talking about a theory, a big theory that was going around the internet, and her thoughts on it. And actually explained in good detail about what the Theseus theory is. Now, if you're big into Greek mythology, you already know about it. If you've seen her video, you already know about it. Like I said, I don't want to steal from somebody else's, their idea. Like I said, I'm giving her credit, like in a term paper, credit where credit is due. But anyways, but she talked about that, and I guess in Cliff Notes kind of thing. There's King. He has one son. The son says he wants to be the hero, so he takes the place of one of the 5 daughters, 5 sons to be sacrificed to the Minotaur. He goes over there, tells his father that they'll sail over there with black flags. If he defeats the Minotaur, they'll sail back with white flags to show that he won and conquered. Came, saw, conquered. Like Brock Lesnar. Anyways, so he goes there, falls in love with someone on the inside, and she helps him. Gives him ball yarn or string. I don't remember specifically, and he's able to find his way through the maze, the impossible maze, find the Minotaur, and kill the Minotaur with his own horn. And then he finds his way out. On the way back, abandoned ship, and she abandoned ship. He's sad, and in his sorrow, he forgets to put the white flag up. I'm pretty sure it's white. If it's not, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just going off, like I said, from what I learned from her channel and that video, and then my small amount of research myself. Anyways, his father sees the black flag coming back, thinks that his son has died, jumps in the ocean and kills himself. Suicide, pretty much. So heartbroken. And from there. So if you go by that theory and how part 1 ended it and everything like that, put that all together as she did in her video, in my opinion, that's a good theory, and that's a good way of thinking of how things could happen in part 2, and the storyline thing of how if you think about it, and as she explained, like I said, so eloquently herself in her channel and her video, that if Ellie goes on psycho rampage killing spree, and Joel thinks that she died in a blaze of glory, so to speak, even though she didn't, but he thinks so, and he commits suicide or something that he normally wouldn't do, and in the end, perishing and passing away and being killed off, that his story, Joel, would end the same way as a king there in the Greek tale that I just told. So that's one way to think of it. Now the third way to think of it, of how that scene to be interpreted, like I said, 1,000 different ways. I respect everybody's way of thinking, and if you have I was just seeing here, Mark Rambo, my co-host at Mark is Rambo on Twitter, was letting me know about he's watching my live stream here, my Google Hangouts, as I do each and every video of anything, and he was telling me about how to do a reaction, how to do things like that, because now to be quite honest, as I always am, and sometimes I'm too honest with people here, everybody, but that's just my personality. I did see the trailer, obviously, as I'm talking about it. I've seen it a couple times, seen it in other people's reactions, saw it when it was debuted with PlayStation Experience. I was actually watching on YouTube. Excuse me, on YouTube. I know there's a lot of ways to watch things now, YouTube, Facebook Live, whatever. But anyways, I was watching through the medium of YouTube, and so I watched it there live. I watched it in other people's their reactions and heard their thoughts and theories. So that's why even if I did have the software here he's talking about, Microsoft Encoder. Yeah, Encoder. So I might download that after this video because I'm in the middle of something right now. But download that. I might do a reactions of other things. Maybe I might do a reaction like what is it called? Reacception or whatever it's called. The reaction of somebody's reaction. I just have to find a reaction that I haven't watched yet, or maybe I'll do one of Sports Rebel Gaming, I think it is, or something like that. That's her channel. Like I said, find her out. Let her know I sent you. Steve sent you to her channel, and I'm sure she'll appreciate that. Maybe she'll give me a shout out at some point in the future. But we'll find her channel there and see her reaction to it, and then her theory. Because, like I said, she goes even in more detail than I have. Because, like I said, I want to give her credit because that's where Worst part of my thinking. But like I said, the third way to interpret that scene, the third way in my mind where I interpret it from, um, um, that's different from the other two that I was talking about. First, you have that basic form, and then you have the Joe killed himself, Theseus theory form of way to think of it. Me, from watching it, just gut feeling. And sometimes it's right, sometimes it's wrong, but people do say trust your gut, right? Anyways, my gut feeling on The Last of Us Part 2, or specifically to that scene and what that means, you would think it would mean the start of the movie or the start of the gameplay. You know, it's not a movie, but it's a game. Um, but start of it, like that's gonna be the first scene, or it might not even be a scene in the game. It's just something to connect from part one to part two, like that middle part, whatever. I know I didn't really explain that right, but you know what I mean. Anyways, I actually think and would interpret it to be near the end of the gameplay, near the end of, or near the end, or past the halfway point, at some point there. Um, at least just to me, like where something happened, we get through all, most of the story. We think we know what's going, and this happens, or a scene happens, or a scene like it. Maybe, like I said, it's not that exact scene, but when the game comes out, it might be a scene close to that, or pretty close to that, where Ellie, Ellie by herself, or Ellie and Joel, however things are at that point in the gameplay, uh, goes Fireflies and just destroys. I would probably say it would be a little bit past the halfway point. I would say, just like in a movie or a TV show, you have that climax to the midpoint, and then it, goes from there to find the resolution and get to the end, and boom, you're at the end, and that's how you go. Beginning, middle, and end, right? So I would say this would be, at least in my interpretation, in my opinion, of course, everybody has an opinion. It's at that point, and Joel is there with her, so he's not killed off. In my theory here, in my thinking, and that actually in the end, this pain and hurt that Ellie's having, and if she is just fall in love, the creators talks about how the ending, or he even talks about the ending of this game being the biggest part, then or ending of this game, part two, more so than everything else. So that could be what it's interpreting to already of what's going to come at that point. So, like I said, that's where I see it, and here it goes from there, and then you get the second half of the story, and the gameplay. Second half of the story being of Ellie's revenge tour, revenge of everything. Part one was about love, and Joel and Joel and Ellie being like a father figure to her, pretty much, and him going on his rampages to save and protect her and be there for her and everything, having her best interest in mind. And this one, more of a hate revenge thing. She believed the Fireflies to be good, but somewhere in between part one and part two, and I'm sure it'll be brought up in the beginning of the game. I almost called it a movie again, but the beginning of the game, of how that changed and how, things turn and everything. Maybe she does fall in love with somebody from the inside, like from the Thesis theory that I brought up earlier from Rebel Gaming YouTube channel. But either way, whether I'm right, she's right from her channel that talked about that theory, or whoever's right, it doesn't really matter, to be quite honest. It really doesn't, because in the end, first off, in the end, somebody's gonna be right. Second off, the game's gonna be awesome. And like I said, if I had the capabilities, well, first I would have to get a PlayStation 4. But beyond that stuff, I would do a gameplay series here on this channel of that game. But I will do what I did for part one, is watch other people's. And there's a lot of good gamers out there here on YouTube that I do watch and enjoy. That I watched for Until Dawn, Last of Us Part 1, and otherwise that I plan to watch for Last of Us Part 2. So that's certainly going to be fun for me to watch. Like I said, I wish I was able to do one on my own. That might help my channel in that way. But beyond that, We'll see how that goes. But like I said, really excited for it. Looking forward to whenever it drops, whether it's 2000 late. Well, I would say early 2018, 2018, 2019 to be quite honest. Like this is, as they said, the earliest render. They just, the creators of the game wanted to at least show it. Because the fans have been waiting so long for it. Didn't know if it was ever going to come. At one point, we're being like, do you want it in game form or do you want movie form for part 2? People, said game form. So, but seeing the reactions on YouTube of people able to do reactions of the actual trailer, like the ones I like the most of reactions, for anything, whether it's something like this or whatever is live reactions of it, seeing their shock and like, oh my gosh, is this really it? Or is this, especially for this one being a video game trailer thing that was not expected. I like to see the shock. That's why people like to watch reactions in general. That's why I do. I'm sure others do, and whatever, and see people's reaction. That's why I want to do reactions myself of things. And then people, like my co-host Mark Rambo, he does reactions, and people send him suggestions like I did. I sent him a suggestion myself as a subscriber to his channel about doing the SNL election night. I think it's SNL election night video with everything. The Packers kind of shout out in that one, and everything that was pretty good. So I even give suggestions to him. So people be able to give it to me, give me suggestions of things to react to and stuff like that. Because I really like to do that because one, try to grow the channel, not just with the podcast and them to be awesome, but the channel itself to have different things for different people. Willpower here on YouTube, who's going to be part of my Royal Rumble pool for Steve Wrestling Ramble. He does that. He's trying to do other things and doesn't want to just be known in one niche and one thing. I kind of hope that to be that too. So maybe that could be the future if I'm able to download what I need to download or whatever kind of software I need to get here on my Chromebook laptop here, Chromebook 11 here. So we'll see. But thanks for everybody that watched live. Those will be watching the archive. Like I said, I want to give my thoughts on the news. Looking forward to the game, and we'll see if I am able to do some reactions because here shortly, like I said, already Scream Queens already ended, so that series is over. Scream, we gotta wait for a while for when that will start, or at least I think gotta wait a while. I haven't heard any updates on that. Football season's coming to an end near soon. We're into week 17 now. And this afternoon, I'll be doing my Talking Packers with Steve podcast. And then tonight, my wrestling podcast. But so that's coming up. So soon, it'll get to a point where I'll just be doing one video per week with the wrestling podcast. Because that's 365. So 365 days a year. Well, almost. Wrestling. But you know what I mean? 52 weeks, we'll just call it. 52 weeks a year with, stuff to talk about in pro wrestling where I will have at least one video. So I want to have other videos to be able to be uploaded during a week. And I know I have that my own weird rule that, like I said, is an own personal rule about having videos up Monday through Friday, or that's my timetable between Monday and Friday, not doing a lot of weekend stuff because I like to have my weekends to myself. Sort of thinking, so I would like to maybe do some other videos. Looking for 2017 is going to be awesome. With my podcast, Raunchy Mikey and Mark Rambo, or our whole team really now with Raymond, Raunchy Mikey, Mark Rambo, and Palmer J. Simmons doing collabs on each other's channels in 2017 might be a possibility. Don't want to let too much out of the bag, but that could be happening. So you might be seeing me on their channels. And if you do see me on their channels, I think I've already added Mark Rambo and Raunchy Mikey to my list of channels on the right side. You can see there on the right side. Well, not here on this video, but right side on the channel. Because you have the headering, and then you have everything, and you go to the right side, far right side. I have that little box there saying channels that I'm part of, or you can also see me on these channels, sort of thing. And Talking WWJ, Mark Rambo, I think I already added Bronchi Mikey, and those channels and their links there, so people can check them out. And you might see me there in the future in 2017. So, like I said, thanks to everybody who watched live and will be watching archived. Give a thumbs up. If you're looking forward to this video game, let me know in the comment section below in this video. On your thoughts, if you should think I should do reaction videos. I know we have so many reactors here on YouTube. And like I said, I don't want to just be a reactor, but I want that maybe to be just part of, just as much as a podcast or part of my channel. Sports talk, I can even do reactions of sports news or something that breaks or whatever in baseball or basketball, or baseball season's over, but basketball or football with, head coach firings, like the Bills firing the Ryan brothers, and stuff like that, I could do a reaction to, whether I already know the news or not, sort of thing. So we'll see. Just kind of, like I said, that's why I, want to have an audience, be able to have a fan base, be able to have subscribers. You guys let me know what you think, or what direction you want me to go, and what video to do next, because I'm always open to suggestions, and I'm always open to do whatever. So just let me know, and as always, take care.